All right, welcome in everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 24th. We are broadcasting live, Studio B, Tech Prep, Southside High School, 84 Hartsbridge Road. Joined in the studio today by AV1 students Brooklyn, Lexi, and Sammy, and we will bring them onto the mic here momentarily. Big week this week, homecoming week here at Southside High School. Today is Toddler versus Senior Citizens Day. Seen a lot of toddlers walking around today. Seen a lot of senior citizens walking around today. Of course, homecoming week is going to conclude Friday, or culminate Friday, I should say, with the crowning of the homecoming queen, as well as the home basketball games against Liberty. So, as far as the dress-up days go, Monday was soccer moms versus barbecue dads. Today, as we just mentioned, toddlers versus senior citizens. Now, Wednesday, country versus country club. The instructions are dress like you're from the country or dress up for the country club, presumably here in South Jackson. That would be Woodland Hills, home of the South Jackson Bourgeoisie. Thursday is going to be mathletes versus athletes, dress like a nerd or a jock. And then, of course, Friday will be Spirit Day. So big week here at Southside High School. So as we said at the top of the show, we have Brooklyn, Lexi, and Sammy in the studio with us. And Brooklyn, we're going to start with you. You just started the dress-up days. You know what they are. Do you have a favorite dress-up day?
Probably the mathlete versus athlete, so I can dress up in my comfortable clothes. I'm going to dress up as a athlete.
Okay, so you were going to go as an athlete. And I believe, did we say that was on Thursday? Is that correct? Okay, that day will be on Thursday. All right, moving around the table here, we go to Lexi. Now, Lexi, do you have a favorite dress-up day?
My day would definitely be senior citizens versus toddlers.
Okay, and what is it about, of course, that's the day. What is it about senior citizens versus toddlers that makes it your favorite day?
You just get to see a bunch of upperclassmen and underclassmen dressing accordingly.
Excellent. Of course, if you want to see, of course, for those listening that aren't Southside students or not employed here at Southside High School, and you're wondering what this looks like, you can go to the Hawk TV Social Live Southside Facebook page. We've got, I believe it was roughly 27 photos up from yesterday, and then we've got another, I think, 33 up today. So plenty of photos online for you to have a look at. All right, last but not least, we're going to bring in Sammy. And now, Sammy, do you have a favorite dress-up day this week?
Mine would probably also be the toddlers versus the senior citizen because I think it's really funny to see everybody walking around with walkers and toys and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been really great. I mean, there's been some really clever ideas, a lot of creativity going on this week. One thing I love about these dress-up days, not sure if I should say this or not, but one thing I like about it, this is the one week where you can pretty much be out of dress code and wear just about whatever you want, which is nice. I'm getting a lot of heads nodding here. All right, so from homecoming days, we want to talk favorite teachers here for a minute. So the question that we are going to pose here to Brooklyn and Lexi and Sammy is, who is your favorite Southside teacher and why? And unfortunately, I know everybody would say me. But being that this is my AV program, I don't want to toot my own horn on here. So I am ineligible for you to say that I'm your favorite teacher. Although I'm sure if we ask, what do we have, 800-something students at the school, I'm sure if you ask 795 out of 800 would say it was me. But I am ineligible. So with that in mind, let's go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, who is your favorite teacher at Southside?
Miss Peggy. She is my all-time favorite. She cares about her students, and she wants them to succeed, and she's not too hard on us, and she's, like, more lenient, you know.
Now, help me out, Miss Peggy. Is she math or science? I can't recall off the top of my head.
Science.
Science, okay. And so you particularly like her class, and I hope we had science right. You didn't look too sure on that, Brooklyn. All right, let's go, Lexi. Hopefully Lexi can help us out a little bit here. Lexi, who would you say is your favorite Southside teacher?
I would say it's Mr. Roberts because he really helped me pass his class because I swore up and down that I was going to fail it, and I passed it with the highest grade in his class due to his help.
And now help me out again, all these folks over on East Campus. Is that math or science? Science. Okay, so if what you're telling me is correct, so you were not excited about taking a science class, and he helped you, and sounds like had you doing better maybe you thought you would.
Yes.
All right. And last but not least, let's go to Sammy. Now, Sammy, who would you say is your favorite teacher here at Southside?
My favorite teacher is probably Miss Lee, because she just really helped me through a lot last semester, and she always made class fun, and she was just always a really great teacher.
Yeah, Miss Lee, of course, do know that one. She is an English teacher. I used to be an English teacher myself, which is how I know she teaches English, and also the yearbook sponsor. And she does a great job, whether it's English or whether it's with the yearbook staff. Miss Lee just does an excellent, excellent job. Before we get on to our last topic here, let's look at some announcements. Southside students, speaking English, great segue here. If you need tutoring in English, you just need some extra support. Good news, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays of each week from 2:30 to 3:30, there is tutoring available. And for more information on that, you can talk with Miss Cagle. So if you need a little help in English, go see Miss Cagle, and she will help you. And again, also see her just for more information about the meeting place, etc. Seniors, there's going to be a mandatory meeting about Tea and Promise. That's going to be this Thursday, January 26th. Now, here's the good news. It's a mandatory meeting. You have to be there, but great news, it is going to be during school. So at 9 a.m., this is going to be in the East Campus cafeteria. And again, this is mandatory. If I read the email right this morning, and I certainly stand to be corrected, but I do believe that essentially what will happen on Thursday is when the bell to dismiss from first block rings at 8:50. Seniors, you will go to the East Campus cafeteria. And my understanding is this mandatory meeting will most likely take all of second block. Again, that is coming up on Thursday. All right, so back with Brooklyn, Lexi, and Sammy. Again, they are all in our AV1 media production program. And ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, all sophomores, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting question. In Brooklyn, let's start with you on this one. About halfway through your sophomore year, of course, you did your whole freshman year last year. Which one has been your favorite so far? Has it been your freshman year or has it been your sophomore year so far?
Probably my sophomore year because I don't know. I feel like my sophomore year is more easier for me. My freshman year, I had a lot of classes I was failing, and I didn't really pass with high grades. But this year, I have all A's and B's. It's a lot easier for me.
Excellent. So it sounds like, from your perspective, your academic performance has been greatly improved as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's move on to Lexi. Lexi, same question to you. Which one has been your favorite so far? Would it be your freshman year or your sophomore year, which, again, you're only about half done with? What's your take on it?
I would say my sophomore year because I've started new things sophomore year, and I liked them a whole lot than what I was doing my freshman year.
Okay. And Sammy, last but not least, same question to you. What's your take? Which one have you enjoyed more so far? Was it your freshman year or your sophomore year so far?
I enjoyed both a lot, so it's really hard to pick, but it would probably be my sophomore year just because coming into a new school that's like bigger than one I've ever been to is definitely a big change, so I'm more settled in now than I was last year.
Excellent. Let me ask y'all this. I don't think we had this on our agenda, but I'm just curious. For the freshmen, I guess they would be in 8th grade right now. So for 8th graders that may be out there listening to this, maybe at West Bemis, maybe at Parkway, wherever, Brooklyn, what advice would you give? Let's say they're incoming freshmen. Do you have just maybe any one piece of advice that you would give to incoming high school freshmen?
I would say learn all of the classes because I didn't know about most of the classes coming into high school, and I didn't know about them, so obviously I didn't join them. And I found this class the end of my freshman year, so I joined this, and I guess that's what makes my sophomore year better, I could say.
Okay, and of course this class would be AV Media Production 1. Again, it's a kind of a 3-step process. You've got AV Media Production 1, AV Media Production 2, and of course, AV Media Production 3. Now, the great thing about it is there are people, and we have 3 or 4 of them in the program this year, that they've actually taken it all 4 years. So if that's something you're interested, we would love to have you with us. Now, Lexi, same question to you. do you have any advice or just kind of words of wisdom that you would give to an incoming high school freshman?
To respect your teachers and just listen to them. It makes class go so much smoother for the other students.
Absolutely agree with that 100%. And Sammy, what about you? Would you, if you had to give maybe just one piece of advice or words of wisdom to an incoming freshman, what would you say?
Probably that it's not as scary as you think it is. Like, coming in as a freshman, you might think it's going to be really scary. You know, you don't know a bunch of people because they're all from different schools, and it's like a lot of new things, but you adapt really quickly, and you can actually meet a lot of new people, and you can branch out a lot if you just put yourself out there and just, yeah.
Excellent. Now, Brooklyn, I believe you had something that you wanted to add.
Another thing, drama, it's over with. Like, there's no need to come into high school starting drama. Like, it's unnecessary. It's not cute. So, like, I don't know. They need to quit that mess. I'm tired of it.
So you would say leave the drama at home, in other words.
Yes, oh my Lord.
I would have to second that. All right, so tonight, big basketball game tonight. We talked earlier about the homecoming game coming up this Friday against Liberty. There are two big games tonight. When I say two games, I'm talking about one Southside event. Southside's boys and girls teams, we go to Medina today, later this afternoon, to play at South Gibson. That girls game is going to be at 6 with the boys to follow. Tickets available on GoFan for, I believe it's $7. If you get it on GoFan, which is online, I believe there's a $1 processing fee, or you can just show up at the gate tonight at South Gibson and Medina and get your ticket that way. This is going to be the first district game for the Lady Hawks as well as the Hawks. And also, if I understand the rankings correctly, I have not actually looked at them myself. I was told this, and so I assume it to be correct. In fact, I'm 99% sure it is. Lady Hawks have moved into sole possession in Class 3A of the top ranking, and my understanding is that South Gibson, since last week, has moved into the number 10 spot. So tonight in Medina, you then would have the number 1 Lady Hawks against number 10 South Gibson, which is just a big, big matchup tonight. If you can get out there, would certainly encourage you to do so. So as we wrap up our show, we'll go around the table one more time here in just a minute to see if there's any last words, anything else that you would like to say. And we certainly do appreciate anyone who has tuned in to listen to our HawkCast. I believe this is the third one that we have had so far this semester. So going around one last time, we would like to thank Brooklyn for being with us today. Brooklyn, any last words, anything you want to say?
Mr. Gaskin rocks.
There we go. I like that. Extra credit if you all say that. All right, we're going to go right around the table to Lexi. Lexi, what do you have to say?
I love you, Mr. Gaskin.
All right, good. Hey, extra credit all the way around. All right, Sammy, I'm going to assume you're not going to go off script too much here. Anything else you want to say?
Everybody join AV Productions. Thank you.
There we go. So Mr. Gaskins is the best. Mr. Gaskins rocks. Everybody join AV Production. And for Brooklyn, Lexi, and Sammy, I am Mr. Gaskins. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.